I'm audible and visible to everyone. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, yes.
Lovely. Let's start the session. Come into the sitting posture. Keep your back, neck straight, align. Relax your body and gently close your eyes. Go into your posture. Observe the alignment. How's your back, your neck, your shoulder? Now, pay attention towards the natural breath, which going in and coming out. Observe the natural pure breath. Now, take a deep, prolonged, slow inhalation, deep, prolonged, slow exhalation. Inhale and exhale deeply. Now prepare yourself for the 3 times chanting along with Shanti. Take a deep breath for the Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Feel the vibration and sensation. Join your both palms, rub your palm. Please on your eyes. Very slowly while blinking, looking at your palm. Gently open up your eyes with a great smile on your face. Om Shanti. So till now, in previous session, we discussed about the Akar chanting, and we discussed about the importance of the Pranav chanting, right? And in detail we discussed about it. Now today we're going to understand the meaning of the A, O, and Ma. Okay, meaning the as I keep talking about it, that there's no literal meaning associated with these things. Symbolical meaning, yes, there's a many interpretation given by the great Asian yogis or scientists, you can say. They interpret differently because when you keep chanting, you get your own personal experience, you have set of intention, and then the meanings come naturally to you. Okay. And it's also depend on the guru, how the guru gonna explain you the meaning, and then you set that intention in your mind, and then later on you experience in that way. Okay, so that's how this work, especially in chanting. Okay. Especially chanting those words which doesn't have meaning. There's a many like sheet mantras, ram, yam, hum, distan, om, chamund, like there's a certain mantras which does not have any meaning at all. Lam, these are the words which you chant when you keep reciting, you get the strong vibration, but there is no meaning of chanting it. There is no particular meaning it, but because it gives the strong vibration, strong sensation in the body, that's why it plays very important role, especially sheet mantras when we do the other method of the meditation, that many Asian yogis they introduce these kind of sheet mantras. Of course, your guru gonna introduce to you. It's a higher level procedure, and why they are doing it, because it creates strong vibration around a certain area of your body, and then you feel the energy around that area. So again, I'm telling you, basically the motto behind of chanting is give you the strong sensation and vibration in your body. Okay, so Om itself, Om give very strong vibration. That's why we putting into the front, like it's the best mantra to start and to control your mind. Okay, comparatively to the other chanting mantras. And that's why Om always, all the mantras start with the Om, no matter whatever mantras you chant, it always starts with the Om. So meaning, the symbolical meaning associated with this Ma, the three syllable. Okay. Mandukya Upanishad explain differently, and Vedanta talks about differently. Okay. So many philosophers have different meanings. So we just go through the two meaning. A, U, Ma. Okay, so write it down. A, U, because this is not the word, these are the syllables. Okay, A, U, double, 3 times O, you can write it down. 1 capital and then small o, 1 capital A, and then 2 small a, then that also called Ma. So the capital M and then small m, small letter m. So write it down first, division. Now, the sound is okay. Sound is now symbolical meaning of the so the sound of the symbolical meaning of this label is, the is made of the 3 syllables. So symbolically, it's attached with, is considered to be a goddess, god of the creation, god of the creation. Okay, it's mentioned in the Vedas also, it's mentioned in the Mandukya Upanishad also, that certain deity, certain god is attached with the Upma. This, we have the 3 energy, right? We talked about the energy Triguna, right? Triguna. We talked about in the Ayurveda class. So same way, Triguna, same way we have the three. Tridev, 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 Trid, D for Delhi, EV, Tridev. Tridev matlab 3 day, 3 God, 3 types of God. Again, that God is related to the energy also and their function. There's a 3 types of energy in the cosmos. So one energy, give the creation, create the world, this whole cosmos. One energy create the world. That creation happened, that creation happened because of the syllable. This. Then second energy is ooh, the sound, ooh, and energy is the, so creation God is Brahma, Lord Brahma, Lord Brahma. Maybe I should write it down for you. So so first label our sound, God is Brahma, Lord Brahma, or Brahm. Second oo sound, that is Vishnu. Third is Shiv for the ma sound. These 3 together called Tridev. Tridev. All 3 called Tridev. 3 God. 3 God. So first, this is associated with the which God? Creation, God of the creation. And God of the creation, we have given the name in Hindu culture, in Hinduism. We have given the name to everything. Okay, we have the name because we worship everything, because we know the importance of everything. Even small entity play important role in this, in the balance, to create the balance around in the in your in the surrounding and in the cosmos. So even small ant, small bacteria play important role, right, in order to create the balance. So we know these things, and that's why we give the name, we give the obligation, we respect those things. That's why we have many gods and deities. But among these, we have the 3 most important energy. One energy create the things, that we give the name to that energy, Brahma. Brahma. Okay, you don't want to give the name, that's perfectly okay. But there's a one energy which create the one kind of energy which create the things around you, which make you, which create this whole cosmos. Okay, so we're given the name Brahma. Then that is symbolically attached with the R sound. Then come to the O sound. O sound is a development. Now the thing is created. Now to flourish, to develop, to sustain those things, for the growth, for the development, you require another kind of energy. You require another form of the energy that we associated with the Vishnu, the God of the prosperity, God of the development, God of the growth. So Lord Vishnu, for wealth, for house, for all the things, for plants, for tree, everything is growing, you know, everything is developing. That's of the another form, that is Lord Vishnu, God Vishnu. Then third energy, Ma, come oo sound. Symbolically, it's attached with the oo sound. Then Ma sound, sound, which we call Ma sound. That sound associated with the Lord God Shiv. Now, Shiv is the god of the destruction. Destruction. Create space. Give you the space for the new things to flourish. You know, the life is in the cycle. Life in the cycle. You have the cycle of the life. You create the things, then it's gonna grow, and then it's gonna die. Then again the new things come up. For to come up new things, you required what? You required the empty space. How you get the empty space? Empty space you get when there is, you know, destruction gonna happen. You have to remove those things. So God, for that, you have the God Shiv. Mass. It's not destruction, but it also, he's the god of the detachment. He's the god of the not movement, stillness, god of the stillness, god of the spirituality, god of the spiritual health, god of the wisdom, destruction of the desire. He's the god. Destruction of the all kind of desire. Then Lord Shiv is the god. Vishnu give you the desire, flourishing the desire. Okay, fulfill this thing, fulfill that thing. Where Shiv is the god of the destruction of all your desire. Bring you the stillness, bring you the immobilization in your life. When you require mobility, you worship the Vishnu. When you require the immobilization, like no movement, desire give you the movement, right? Desire, you move. For example, am I audible to everyone? I'm visible. My voice is clear. Okay, good. So, have you understand that three Dev connected to the A, U, Ma sound? This is the one of the meaning. It means when you chant a car chanting, you do, and the area of when you chant a car, you feel the vibration around your abdominal region. This is the creation. You are desiring for create something, materialistic wealth. For materialistic wealth, you require to chant a car. Physical health, maybe you require physical health, then you have to chant a car. When you chant a car chanting, you get the physical health. When you chant Ukkar chanting, so you will get the mental health. Mental health. You will get the mental health. When you chant the Makkar chanting, Akkar, Ukkar, and Makkar. Ukkar chanting, you get the mental health. Akkar chanting, you get the physical health. Makkar chanting, you get the spiritual health. Spiritually, those people who are looking for the spiritual path, who are looking for the, something not more than the physical and mental health, they chant more Makkar. So whatever your intention you have, so you can divide the each syllable and accordingly you can chant Akkar, Ukkar, and Makkar. And when you chant all three together, Akkar, Ukkar, Makkar, we're gonna do this. Then you get the all the balance of in the three. You get the physical health, mental health, and the spiritual health, all three together. So right now, today we're gonna learn the Ukkar chanting, but yes, one by one, the variation which I'm teaching you, because you learn the technique separately and then later on you can combine all three together because you need to feel the vibration also. So separately, if you're doing, it's easy to practice how you're gonna pronounce, how you need to feel the vibration in the different part of the body. So it's become easy. So that's why we introduce, or like I introduced, that first you have to go for Akar, Makar. But if you know how to pronounce, you can just start with the all three together. All three together. It depends on you. So one of the meaning of the Akar, Ukar, and Makar. This much is clear to everyone. Second meaning in tomorrow is off. So Monday we're gonna discuss about it. Okay. Till here, any doubt? Lovely. No question? Good. So let's start practice. So we're going to learn today the Ukkar chanting, the technique of Ukkar chanting. So pronunciation. Lips slightly, purge. It's like you make your lips like this. Okay. And tongue should be completely resting. Do not move your tongue. And the voice should be coming from your this kant again. Akkar, Ukkar, and Makkar, all three coming from here. You don't use your mouth. You don't use your mouth. So tongue should be resting. Create the sound from here. You feel the vibration here also. And then focus. Where you putting the focus? Where you observe which part of the body you're gonna aware about it. So around your chest. Around your chest, you have to observe what you feel around your chest when you do Ukkar chanting. Make sure do not try to make it long or loud. Go according to your pace. Same rules would be applicable. Okay, very gently you have to pronounce it Ukkar chanting, and don't give so much pressure. It should be with the ease you have to chant according to your pace. You want to make it short, make it short. People are, when they, in chorus, when they chant, half of the people do the wrong pronunciation, okay? Then they try to force themselves to tune with the other people. So that is completely wrong. First, you require the self practice. In chorus, whenever you see, children in Gurukul and some places, they keep doing the practice for longer period of time, and then they all together do the group meditation and then they chant. Initial level, you require the self practice more. So your pronunciation, your habit of chanting, making it long, it become with the ease. With the ease, you are able to pronounce it, and then automatically you're gonna tune with the other people. Then you have to participate in the chorus. If you try to participate in the chorus and forcing yourself, then you won't get the benefit. Many people do this mistake. And chanting should become according to your comfort zone. Chanting should become within your heart, not with your mouth, with your, too much pressure you're putting. Oh, I have to uh, tune with the other people. That's why I'm saying lots of self practice you required, and then keep practicing. Then you gonna observe that your breath would be more deeper. When you chant, it's more longer, more, pronunciation would be completely correct. It required practice, not one day you just chant and miracle gonna happen and everything would be, oh, perfect. No, it's required the practice. More you practice, more you are perfect. Okay, technique is clear to everyone. So I'll demonstrate you how you're gonna chant, and then I'll give you the instruction. So 5 times, just pay attention towards it, how you're gonna chant. So that's how you're gonna pronounce. Make a, whenever you get tired, take the pose and go into the silence and feel the vibration. And when you feel relaxed, again start chanting. That's you have to do. Any doubt in the technique? Everybody understood?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's start practice. Come into the sitting posture. Follow my instruction, and I'm gonna pause my video so you can hear clearly the instruction. Keep your back, neck straight, align. Keep your back, neck straight, and relax. Choose your posture. Again, Padmasana, Siddhasana, Sukhasana, Swastikasana, Vajrasana, any posture, whatever you feel comfortable, you can choose it according to your comfort zone. Once you are comfortable in the posture, observe your alignment, how you are sitting. Check your back, your neck, your shoulder. Palm should be facing upward, resting on the knee. Once you align, set the intention, contemplate, and take the pledge 5 minutes to the 15 minutes. I'm not going to move my body according to your comfortable zone. 5 minutes to the 15 minutes, at least minimum 5. Maximum you can choose 15, 20, 25 minutes, but minimum at least 5 minutes or 15 minutes. Am I not gonna move my body at all? Hold my body, my palm, my knee, my neck. Remain still. Set the intention in your mind. Take the pledge. Use your strong determination. Now, bring your awareness towards your breath. How the breath going in and coming out. Observe attentively, patiently. Observe your breath, your natural, pure breath. Now, take a deep, prolonged, slow inhalation, deep, prolonged, slow exhalation. Inhale and exhale deeply. Allow your body to connect with each breath. Deep, prolonged, slow inhalation, deep, prolonged, slow exhalation. Now, once you are ready, inhale for the O, chanting, and while exhalation, start pronouncing O, and keep practicing afterward until unless you don't feel tired. Whenever you get tired, take the pose, feel the vibration, and feel the sensation of the Omkar chanting. And then again start chanting. Go with your pace, according to your pace. Take a deep inhale for the Omkar chanting. Take your own time. Take your own time to go into your silence. Now bring your awareness towards your natural breath. Now take a deep to long inhalation, long exhalation. Inhale and exhale with awareness. Be aware of each breath. Now prepare yourself for the 3-time I'm chanting along with Shanti. Inhale for the Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Join your both palms, rub your palms, place on your eyes, feel the warmth. Very slowly while blinking, looking at your palm. Gently open up your eyes with a great smile and say Om Shanti. Any difficulty, any problem when you chant in the Om?
It was good. It was smooth. I felt like I'm flying,
Okay.
frankly speaking.
uh, that's again your mind, giving the impression that you feel so light. But again, I'm telling you, do not expect that all the meditation will give you the flying kind of,
Yeah,
sensation and vibration.
yeah,
Meditation motto is wow or the wonderful experience, because if you start looking the pleasure, so your mind starts again in the when you get the pleasure, you feel wow, I'm so good at it. And when you don't get, you feel agitation, you feel sad, you feel anxiety that what happened in my meditation. So it's nothing. That's basically the mind just feeling in that way. It give you the wow also. It will give you the the boredom also. It will give you the pain also. All things are the mind reaction towards the meditation. But yes, if you're feeling wow, that's okay. Don't like why I'm feeling wow. That's but don't attach with these things. Okay, just
yeah.
practice and practice. That's the only things we require to do. Okay, that's the
Yes.
approach of doing the meditation. We want that mind should be from under our control, rather being feeling the pleasure and the pain. Looking for the between the one way which is in between of the pain, not in the pain, not in the pleasure. We are in between. So that's through the technique of the meditation we are training ourselves. But don't look for the pleasure in the meditation. But if you feel the pleasure, same way you have to approach towards when you feel the pain. Don't react towards it. Okay, I'm feeling the pain. Keep continuing my practice. Clear? So lovely. So tomorrow you have the off day. Keep enjoying, keep practice more Ukkar chanting. So Monday we're gonna learn the Makkar chanting. It will give you the very strong vibration, and maybe you feel more wow. But again, don't attach. Try to be in between.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Try to be in between. So you're gonna train yourself for the pain also. You're preparing for yourself for pain. So when you feel the pain and something in your body while doing the meditation, towards it. So keep meditating, keep practice more and more. This is the only key. This is the only way to control your mind. Om Shanti. Mangal. Bless you guys.
Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Okay.
Thank
Bye bye.
you. Bye bye.
Hi, thank you very much.
Welcome, dear. Bye.